Three, two, one. My name's James McLean. I've been a member of the New Calculus Discord for, I'm assuming, around about 2.5 years. Sounds about right. Basically, I'm recording a message today to sort of tell John Gabriel how much he means to me in certain ways. So we're going to flash back to when I finished my PhD in roughly October 2022. And that took a lot out of me. Crazy, crazy. That PhD, going from undergrad straight to PhD with no break in between really, and not addressing health issues and things like that properly, took a lot out of me. And by the end of that, I had, I was fed up, I couldn't really think what I wanted to do, very aimless, but what I did was I went for the first job in academia I could get at my local uni. It was very stressful because I got that job at extremely short notice. I got told a week before, just a week before class started, that I got the job or whatever, and I only got the materials for the course on the Friday before it even started on the Monday. So as you can tell, I was probably shitting myself. But anyways, we got through that. We're not going to talk about that too much. And anyways, the contract ended with that uni. Doesn't really matter. I learned a lot. Got on with the students very well. Got on with the lecturers very well. It was a good time overall, but it was stressful. Anyways, I had a short little break with summer holidays, and I was looking for the next kind of opportunity. And one of my previous supervisors put me on to another of the local unis, actually. So he got me in contact with one of the lecturers there. And cut a long story short, ended up saving their butts. Now, I'm not going to go into that uni and how bad that was or whatever. It went really well in some ways. The students and I had a very good time. Had a good time with quite a lot of the lecturers as well. But anyways, crucially, during that time, and this would have been 2023 at this point, okay? During that time, I stumbled across a video by none other than New Calculus, and it was a video about how to do trigonometry in a different way. And I sat through that and looked through it, and I was like, damn, that is genuinely fascinating. I couldn't believe my eyes in some ways. I know it's just trig. We take trig for granted and all these kind of things, right? But I was actually dumbfounded by that, because I thought, how on earth is there a different way to actually look at trigonometry? So I was dumbfounded, and then I actually started writing in the comments on this New Calculus profile, just sort of like trying to understand things a little bit more or whatever, and I just sort of explored the channel, and honestly, truth be told, this John Gabriel man could tell he was bright, very bright, and he was very entertaining. I've never seen somebody get this irate or this pissed off at academia ever, or just specifically mathematics people. I've never seen anything like this. And one of the first things that came to my mind, he's not going to like this when he hears this, but I don't really mean it. I was like, is this the Terry Davis of mathematics? But on further inspection, it's just a man who's angry and depressed, to be honest, at just the state of things. And I don't blame him in certain ways. I really don't. Either way, the entertainment factor he gave me was incredible. Almost every second or third video, I was like, I actually had like a tear just laughing at points, because I couldn't believe the things that were coming out of him, like syphilitic brained mathematicians or things like that. I just wouldn't even think to use these as insults. And yeah, the toilet humor at places was pretty funny. But anyways, some of the videos were genuinely very good. I wouldn't say they're all good, but some were quite insightful. Anyways, join the server. And I joined the server, funnily enough, at maybe a time of need that I didn't realize I needed, kind of deal. All these conversations about mathematics, mind-independent concepts, nomina, all these. I don't like to use this specific terminology because I don't think it's very accessible, but nomina, mind-independent concepts, these things, that hit home and it resonated very deeply with me. I can't lie. I can't lie when I say this. Listening to the discussion and watching the discussions about mind-independent concepts actually saved this for me. I'm not even kidding. The fact that it seems obvious, people say put their faith in God, they put their faith in Jesus, Allah, whatever. Krishna, whatever, it could be Buddha and Buddhist teachings, it doesn't really matter. But mind independent concepts is maybe the most powerful thing I have ever found out about. Now, it seems like a no shit statement. God is mind independent if he's real or whatever. You know, there's clearly there's a universe out there to explore, and we're just passengers trying to understand it, right? So clearly, mind independent things is like, well, whatever, right? Of course, there's mind independent things. Uh, but some people might argue, hey, mind independence. Well, you need a mind to even realize that in the first place. So is it really mind independent? I don't like to think that way, though. I don't think that would be the case. I really think that we're passengers on this shit show in a certain way. Now, the point is, though, is the solace that I found in talking about mind independent concepts and specifically relating mathematics to that was such a novel, a beautiful and important thing to me personally. I cannot understate that, right? It doesn't matter if John Gabriel's always right or always wrong or somewhere in between. People make mistakes or whatever. The point is, I cannot stress how that saved this, especially after the PhD. You go into that PhD, you come out. I got 6 journal papers published and 4 conferences, right? That's above average, I am pretty sure. Whatever, I don't really care. Academia is not really for me. Not as an ADHD person, anyways. It's fucking miserable, actually. But anyways, you come out of a PhD going like, what was that? And you just realize that all the people that have the same letters after their name, they don't really know as much as they'd like to think they do. And that left me very unassured, or kind of not nervous. Nervous isn't the right word, but unassured for sure. And mind independent concepts, the fact that I can put some solace in that being a thing was just one of the most powerful things. I know I've just repeated myself, but I'm going to repeat myself. One of the most powerful things I have ever come across. And the way that it's delivered through mathematics, the way that John has looked at, what do you call it, the elements by Euclid, just that kind of approach actually gave me so much comfort. I cannot lie. There's a reasonable chance I'll probably break up on this video. I can't even lie. I've Sudafed it up just in case. But yeah. Anyways, we've had some arguments, had some debates or whatever. I've definitely debated people a little bit on the channel when I was like less experienced and things like this. I will say that John, he's a good lad deep down. We've had a lot of conversations, but like the man creates friction, he creates tension, and a lot of people come into the server wanting to fight. And I don't blame them. It's like, look at this angry dude who just gets pissed off at Cantor, Gilbert Strang, whoever takes his fancy at that moment. It is what it is. I don't blame people for coming in to have a right good laugh at this guy, but I really encourage anybody to really have a look at some of the things he's got to say. Don't try to ignore the fact that the documents aren't necessarily polished. Try to really take the content and really try to understand it as best as you can. You'll struggle, and you might even find problems in your own processing of these things as well. But there's gold there, I'm telling you. Mind independent concepts and the way that he's approached geometry and things like this, incredibly novel, matters to me a lot. But anyways, the rest of this message is really geared towards him in particular. We ended up actually becoming very friendly. We have shared, I don't even know how many direct messages and messages in the Discord with each other. Usually in agreement. I'm usually a pretty agreeable person for the most part, but I've had minor disagreements as well. But yeah. Anyways, we've had a lot of like private calls and good heart to hearts on WhatsApp, or was it WhatsApp? Yeah, it doesn't really matter to be honest what it was. Discord as well. And John, you're a good lad. You're a good lad. Your story and pain and things like this. Oh, it's tricky to listen to. I can't lie. It's tricky to listen to. It's been difficult, and I do feel you. I do feel you, man. You're a good lad. The thing I really wanted to say is that it's funny because in a way, the fact that you're this angry and pissed off, and you know what, I don't even blame you. I really don't. I get it. I really understand. And that anger and that hate and whatnot that you've got that's deep seated is what keeps you going. But the thing is, bro, you need to make the rest of the time in your sorry, let me say that again. You need to make the rest of your time on this planet as happy as possible, man. I'm not saying let go of maths. I'm not saying let go of the server or whatever, but you need to let go up to a certain point, dude. It matters. I don't like seeing you stressed. I don't like seeing you unhappy. And I know there's certain things that are out with your control, but I guarantee if you can let go, some of that stress would come off. I don't know how you can get rid of the resentment because it's really deep seated. I really don't. But I think there's a way, man. The things you shared with me matters a lot. And I'm just recording this to say thank you very much for what you've done. Thank you, Jordan.